in order to play the bass with your fingers, you got to learn how to pluck the string with your fingers. Now, this sounds a lot more simple than it ends up being in practice. So, one of the common misconceptions about plucking the bass or playing the bass with your fingers is that it is a pluck somehow, or like it's a snap or pulling the string. And it's really more about pushing the string than it is pulling the string. So if you can look at my hand down here, I'm just going to pluck the D string, and I'm not going to pluck it that way. I'm not going to pluck it out. I'm going to press it down like that. It's sort of maybe at like, somewhat of an angle, maybe 45-degree angle. I'm coming at the string at an angle. So I'm sort of pushing the string down and back towards me to make the sound. It's a very different sound than if I pluck it. Now there's techniques that, pop and slapping that actually use a real pluck of the string, but most traditional bass playing is this style where you're pressing the string down. Now if you notice, I always have my fingers resting on a string, or if I'm playing the bottom or the E string, the lowest string on the bass, my thumb is resting on the pickup here. And your bass might have, a thumb rest somewhere, or a pick guard, or some other place you might be able to rest your finger or your thumb while you're doing this. So here's plucking the E string. So I'm plucking the E string. When I go up to the A string, my thumb hops and rests on the E string. And as I continue up the strings, my thumb will jump to rest maybe even on the A string. Most of the time, though, my thumb rests on the E string, and my hand will move up to these other strings. But if I'm playing the E string by itself, then my thumb rests on the pickup or pick guard or something like that. Most bass players use 2 fingers to pluck the bass so that they can do fast plucking, like so they can go back and forth, kind of like drumsticks, if you want to think of it that way. So to practice, you want to practice 1 finger at a time, but use both fingers. Maybe go back and forth, and as you get more comfortable, start practicing alternating your fingers left to right. Now, there are techniques that use 3 fingers to play really, really fast. I'm not an expert in that, but you could be, it's something like that, where you can do 3 notes at a time. Now, it ends up being easier to play regular rhythms with 2 fingers because most rhythms are even in their count, like 4 or 8. Whereas if you play with 3 fingers, it might be easy to play triplet feels, or feels that are an odd meter, like 3 and 6. But for the very basic level, you just want to use your first 2 fingers and go back and forth between them, and try it on every string.